Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey GT7 and welcome to the episode. In this episode we're going to be using the legendary Escudos at Le Mans. In this episode I'll be covering a step-by-step guide on how to get this car, and I'll also be showcasing on how to get the parts you'll need for this car, and then lastly I'll show the tune for this car. What I'm also going to do for this episode is I'm going to go ahead and keep the original livery for this car, so thankfully, there isn't going to be any particular livery or any car customization parts for this car, just to make this a little bit more simpler and a bit more easier and faster for us to dive into it. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead now and jump into the episode. So as you guys can see, we are in fact in the Legends car dealership. This is the only dealership you can go to actually find this car. And unfortunately, as you can see from this menu, that the car isn't here. But here are some other cars if you're interested in searching up, or if there's a particular car that you might want to quickly grab before it sells out. So I'll go ahead and showcase all the cars that's in the menu. But usually the Escudo tends to be a little bit more easier to get now than it used to be back a couple years ago, where it just rarely just show up. But hopefully pretty soon that the Escudo will show up, because the Escudo, in my opinion, is like one of the, if not the best car overall when it comes to all these Monte Grand races, even for Spa, because it doesn't have headlights. You can just simply pause the game, go to your options, and just change the brightness to the screen, and that's literally it if you think about driving that car at Spa. So after you grab the car, we're then going to go ahead and go to the tuning shop just to showcase what you need for your parts for this car. And it's overall going to be pretty simple. Sports, you're going to completely ignore that. There isn't anything from sports you need here. For Club Sports, I will pretty much would say I think the more safety bet is probably going to be the power restrictor is the parts you probably need for the car. For semi-racing, I will go ahead and say throw in the custom LSD and the fully customized manual transmission. For racing category, of course, you're going to have all your racing parts. I would suggest to have both the torque vector and center differential and the racing hard tires. For racing category and for extreme, I would recommend grabbing the intermediate tires just in case if you do have any pop-up rain showers to come to the track and the track becomes pretty wet. I would suggest put that on the car. So here is the tune. It's only just this first part of the list. As you can see, there's all the parts all together. If you were to go ahead and just copy what you see on the screen, you can just pause the episode. And like I said before, you do need to be safe 2 different compounds just in case if you do have some rain to show up. So I would recommend doing hards for your slicks, and then for of course intermediates whenever you actually have some rain to come through the track. You could do heavyweights, but I think inters are probably a better bet, because 1, I rarely see the water meter go all the way toward the top, and then 2, you'll save you some credits if you do that. So for this race with this car, you're going to be easily cut through the field. I mean, this car, when it comes to acceleration and top speed, it has pretty much no match towards the grapefruit force. You're going to go a lot faster on acceleration. This car is a all-wheel drive train as well, so that's going to give you quite a big benefit as well. And on this bumper cam, I mean, you can just tell the car just really grips really well on the track, despite it being a much older car compared to the rest of the cars racing against the field. But you'd be glad to know that whenever you do reach to your final gear, which is going to be the 6th gear, that you're going to be within the mid 190s, and thankfully you won't be going too fast to where you actually are going to lose speed. So you're going to be within the mid 190s. You're going to keep at that pace until you actually get to the first and second chicane without any worries about losing speed or going over the limit for the engine. And as you can see, we're pretty much are going to quickly get ourselves in the top 5, and we should probably be as the race leader once we get to the end of the second chicane. So this car, quite a beast when it comes to this particular racetrack. So right now, 4th place, there's the top 3. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves into a 3-way battle between the Corvette and the Viper. Easily make up 2 spots, get back to that racing line, and just easily will take the lead and just mainly run away from it. So for our pit strategy, we're going to pit every single second lap. So our first lap, our first pit stop stint, All we'll be doing here is going to just basically refuel the car with 100% on fuel. And you can just see our gap well over 50 seconds. So we got ourselves quite a pretty big advantage over everybody else in this race. So you really shouldn't have any issues when it comes to general pace for this racetrack. Now you may or may not secure the fastest lap. It just all depends on you get to do the final lap, you being able to actually be on a hot flying lap. But if we did have to worry about too much on the fuel load, you probably could go within easy below 350s, maybe somewhere around the 340s is my guess, because that's how good the car was. So lap 4 is going to be our next stop, and you can see we got ourselves some dark cloudy clouds around the area, and unfortunately for us, as you saw, we only have slicks as an option tire to change from. We don't have inters. I did this race before purchasing the inters, and I thought for a moment I actually did acquire inters, but unfortunately I did not, and it actually will pay us back into this race. But I would say the good thing is, if we do find ourselves like stranded on the track, and the track being into that intermediate stage or close to that wet stage where you do need inter tires, you really don't have to worry about spinning the car out. You will face a lot of understeer, but I would rather have the car being very tight and very understeery rather than having the car spin like a top and being very, very oversteery just because the track's wet. So you can see as we get up pit road, that water meter is about the quarter full, so it's almost right where it needs to be, where you have to come in for inters. And as you can see from the radar, we actually do have a bit darker shades of dark blues and greens around our general area. We had some yellows not close to the track, but you can see the yellow spots on the radar as well. And it was at this particular corner right here I braked, and you can still tell that the car just not really wanted to turn whatsoever at that turn. So that was quite unfortunate. And later on the lap, we actually did face a big pop-up shower, and this is usually the best timing to actually switch to inters. You could do wets, but I think inters would have been the best bet, and this was the realization that I did not have any inters. So what I went ahead and did was just get ourselves some new fresh hard tires. And also I was thinking for this to be our final pit stop of the race, because we're getting close to that 8-minute criteria for our time remaining. So I was thinking I can just get tires, try to add some more time to pit road, to our pit stop, until we actually do get closer to 8 minutes. But yeah, other than that, the car, it was very good, even with the very tricky rain conditions. With not having the right tires, it just really drove pretty good. Like I said, if you do find yourself stranded on the road, it's going to be a lot of understeer, especially those very slow corners, which I would easily take any other day when it comes to being in a very tricky scenario when you're stranded on the wet circuit. So as you can see, as we're about to wrap up the race, we could have done easily a low 340s for our hot lap. We're going to stay right here, and I'm pretty sure guys have done this too. Wait right here till that timer hits 0, and then once we see the final lap indicator, we're going to go ahead, get a little bit of gas input in like that. We're going to go ahead, cross the finish line, and that's going to be it for the race. So yeah, this car totally crushed the competition. We actually put a couple of back markers a lap down. They of course got their lap back, but yeah, quite a very dominant performance with the Escudo. So there you go. Hopefully that particular tune helps you out to gain some money at Le Mans, and that's going to be it. So for our next preview, I'm thinking about going with the Supra RZ at Tokyo Expressway 600, and I'm thinking and leaning more toward a swap build for this particular car. So I'm going to be quite looking forward for it. It's been quite a while since I've actually done this car at Tokyo Expressway, so hopefully that'll help out. So if you guys enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully if it did help out, when I go ahead and leave a like. If there is a particular car recommendation or a request build you may try out in any of the main races, you're more than welcome to put your suggestions in the comments sections below. If you want to check out the last episode I did covered, there it is right there if you want to check it out, which was quite a very unusual request build, but you want to check it out, there it is right down there. And with that being said, hopefully all you guys have a great rest of the day or night for might be, and I'll see you guys later when we get back to Tokyo Expressway with the Toyota Supra RZ.